Hey everyone! Welcome back to TechVerse Reviews 321, your go-to spot for the latest and most detailed tech reviews. Rocket today, we're diving into an exciting comparison. The iPhone 17 Pro versus the iPhone 17 Pro Max in 2025. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and help us reach 10K subscribers and 1,000 hours of watch time. Your support keeps this channel growing. Number 1 iPhone 17 Pro Review. iPhone 17 Pro hands-on. The unibody and camera plateau feel more significant in person. The ceramic shield all around the iPhone 17 Pro lends a refreshed vibe when you pick it up. Surprisingly, absolutely no one Apple has unveiled the new iPhone 17 series, including the iPhone Air, which CEO Tim Cook said at the launch event today, has freed the company up to make the Pro handsets the most Pro ever. Is that claim true or mostly hyperbole? Here at Apple Park, I was able to take a high-speed hands-on demo of the iPhone 17 Pro. And though obviously I can't answer that question based on a brief preview of the new phones, I'm certainly intrigued. I made a beeline for the new Cosmic Orange model, which by the way reminds me strongly of the action button on the Apple Watch Ultras. I'm already very taken with the way the iPhone 17 Pro looks and feels, and I don't even mind the new camera plateau. But maybe that's just because I'm a sucker for change. This isn't just a shiny new thing, to be clear, far from it. The iPhone 17 Pro that I played with was the orange version, and it has a sort of matte finish and a vague, soft touch feel compared to the iPhone 16 Pro I've been using for about a year. I also liked the blue color option, which is slightly richer than it appears in photos. Although there's a slight trade-off in the overall premium vibe of the Pro phones, the potential improvement in durability is worth it. Regardless of the color, I found that the aluminum frame and matte finish around the edges lent a sturdier feel overall. And I say this as someone whose iPhone 16 Pro has a large nasty series of cracks because it fell and landed on its edge. Importantly, the back of the iPhone 17 Pro also features ceramic shield in the paler-hued rounded rectangle part, so it should be more scratch-resistant than its predecessor. In spite of the new unibody design, I found the camera control button on the right still reasonably easy to press, although I think I'm more used to the one on the iPhone 16 Pro and find it a bit easier to click at the moment. More importantly, and this is something I'll have to spend more than an hour with an iPhone 17 Pro to verify, the redesign should help with battery life. The camera plateau now houses many components, freeing up space in the rest of the iPhone's body for the battery. That, together with the A19 Pro processor's improved power efficiency, is supposed to make the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max last longer than before. I both loathe and am appreciative of Apple's tendency to come up with new terms for its features, and while I cringed slightly at the word plateau to describe the rounded rectangle module on the back of the iPhone 17 Pro, I certainly find it convenient to use as a reference. I tested some of them out briefly at Apple's observatory space, zooming up closer to the Infinity Building and further away. Without much closer looks at the resulting pictures, I can't vouch for the quality, so all I can say is that the interface remains familiar to use. I also had a chance to quickly check out the new center stage selfie camera, and I have to say it now makes sense why Apple had to redesign the camera app with iOS 26. To enable new features like the auto-rotating aspect ratio or the dual camera video capture, you'll have to dive deeper into menus by tapping buttons near the top of the screen. I didn't immediately know where to find these, but I'm sure I'll learn over time. For now, a helpful Apple representative standing next to the phone showed me where everything was. Many of the other interesting things about the iPhone 17 Pro weren't easy to quickly test, so we'll have to wait till we can review them to see if the claims Apple makes hold up. That's things like improved performance with the A19 Pro, better thermal management with the onboard vapor chamber, as well as that touted battery life. I'd be curious to see what we learn over time about the redesign and whether it has any impact on call performance and repairability too. Though I'm quite taken by the new look and color of the iPhone 17 Pros, I have to admit I'm a little envious of my colleague Sam Rutherford, who got to spend some hands-on time with the new iPhone Air. While the colors aren't as appealing in that line, the extreme thinness is certainly very seductive. Based on my limited experience, The iPhone Air has slightly more rounded edges compared to Samsung's super-thin Galaxy S25 Edge, but you should definitely check out Sam's impressions for more details. The Apple awe-dropping event has concluded after the company announced new iPhones, Apple Watch, and AirPods models as expected. The full rundown of new releases: the iPhone 17, iPhone Air and iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max, the AirPods Pro 3 with live translation and a heart rate sensor, and the Apple Watch SE 3, Apple Watch Series 11 and Apple Watch Ultra 3. The company also confirmed that all of its new operating system upgrades, including iOS 26, will be available as free upgrades on September 15th. Scroll through Engadget's earlier live coverage of the iPhone 17 launch to see how the announcements unfolded throughout the day. Number 2, iPhone 17 Pro Max review. If you're a video professional considering upgrading to the newest iPhone, here's the headline: it's orange. To help you decide whether to upgrade, I've taken a closer look, watched all the early reviews, and purchased my own iPhone 17 Pro Max at the earliest opportunity. Due to the magic of time zones and ordering at the right time, I picked mine up at 8 a.m. here in Brisbane, on Australia's east coast. It's still yesterday in the US. Saifola. As usual, if you want to use a phone to shoot videos and photos, you'll probably want to go for the Pro or Pro Max models. These chunky, top-spec models feature 3 larger camera sensors, including a 4x telephoto lens, faster USB connectivity, and more advanced video recording capabilities. The iPhone Air is very thin, but it comes with compromises for video and photo enthusiasts. The regular iPhone 17 has a 0.5x and 1x lens but no telephoto. iPhone Air is very light and thin, but you get only 1 lens, 1 speaker and less battery life. The iPhone 17 Pro has a smaller screen and battery life than the iPhone 17 Pro Max, but the same lenses. A big battery and bright screen. Compared to last year's 16 Pro Max, the 17 Pro Max battery is larger and gives a longer running time. It's too early to have run down my battery even once, but Apple's claims have moved video playback life from 33 to 39 hours, or 37 if your iPhone still has a SIM tray, which it does in fewer countries than last year. The space that the SIM tray would occupy is now filled with more battery in the US, Canada, and other countries where eSIM is the only option. Notably, mmWave support is still US only, and only US phones have an antenna cutout for it at the top of the phone. There's no mmWave 5G support on iPhones sold outside the US, so there's no cutout for the antenna at the top. While the screen is the same size as last year's and has the same 1 to 120 Hz refresh rate, this year's Pro models up the max brightness to 3000 nits outdoors, though the difference from last year's 2000 nits is not always going to be apparent. Honestly though, the orange model is very orange indeed. It's shiny, so different environments will reveal different shades, and a bit of brightness is long overdue for the Pro iPhones. If you're a fan of black though, you'll want to go for blue or add a skin or a case. A square selfie sensor. The front camera sensor is now square, higher resolution, and larger than before, giving more detailed lower noise 18MP images, up from 12MP. However, the key innovation a square sensor brings is the ability to capture stills or videos in portrait or landscape without compromise. In all previous iPhones, using the selfie camera meant a drop in image quality, but no longer. Using the same center stage technology that iPad front cameras and Mac webcams have used for a while now, the selfie camera here can, optionally, reframe to suit the number of people in a shot. A vertical phone, a landscape photo, auto-zooming and rotation are optional. While this is a convenience for casual users, I suspect most solo pro photo and video shooters will turn this off and frame shots themselves. Happily, this reworked camera is also a little wider than before, and there's more of a difference between the wider and cropped framing options. With a tendency of humans to look at images of themselves, shooting in widescreen also used to bring the risk of eye lines wandering sideways, but that's less of an issue with the camera above the screen. A better, shorter telephoto. The telephoto lens moves from 12MP to 48MP to match the others. No need to sacrifice resolution or detail when zooming in. That top zoom has come down slightly, from 5x on the 16 Pro Max to 4x here, but the increased resolution and improved detail more than make up for it. The 2x and 8x lengths are a crop of the focal length before, and though they do use an optimized image pipeline to make them better than a straight crop and post, they will only be 12 MP rather than the 24-48 MP, your choice, of a regular shot. Natural bokeh on the new telephoto sensor means you can achieve decent subject separation if you have room to move back from your subject, and you won't need to move as far away as you did with the 5X. Update. Make sure your subject is located beyond the minimum focus distance of 120 cm, or your shot will only be 12 MP, presumably a crop from the 1X lens. Open Gate and ProRes RAW. Blackmagic Camera 3.1 updated today, can record in ProRes RAW. Update. And Final Cut Camera 2.0 now released can do this trick too. More on Blackmagic Camera below, but here's the info for Final Cut Camera. Using the whole sensor gives you 42-24x30-24px in a 4:3 aspect ratio, which is more useful than 3:2 if you're planning to reframe for portrait delivery. A wrinkle is that an external SSD is required for this to work, stabilization isn't supported, and no other codecs can be used for open gate recording. It's also not, yet, possible to record that nice new square front sensor in ProRes RAW, and you can't record 1:1 open gate from it either. Still, if you're planning to shoot with an iPhone alongside a mirrorless, and you have enough storage space to cope with the data rate, you'll have all the white balance control that you could want, with no over-sharpening and a clean image. Though more casual shooters will probably be happy shooting in log with the HEVC codec, it's great that higher-end shoots are catered to too. Open Gate, ProRes RAW, and also Genlock on a phone. A new Apple Log 2 brings a new wider gamut color space too, though you'll need the latest Resolve 20.2 or the upcoming update. Now available Final Cut Pro for Mac, 11.2 or Final Cut Pro for iPad, 2.3 for full control, with new custom Demosaic controls available for ProRes RAW shot on iOS. Updates to FCP, Motion, and Compressor are on the App Store. Compressor also sees a new RAW processing inspector for third-party RAW video media extensions. Great to see RAW format compatibility spreading further. Back up your existing apps before updating. While I'd love to try out the Blackmagic dock, I don't have one to test just yet. Hopefully a ProVideo Coalition writer will have one in hand soon. Other recent updates. On Monday, macOS, iOS, iPadOS, visionOS, and watchOS 26 all went live, and most users will focus on the new Liquid Glass UI. Video and photo users should enjoy the simplified camera app interface, hiding modes other than video and photo by default. All the older options are still here, hidden by a swipe, and it works well on old and new phones. Camera control has seen a slight rejig, and on an iPhone with this hybrid swipe button, you can now remove unwanted camera settings from the menu that appears when you press lightly. Spatial scenes are a magic jump into 3D, letting you look around a photo in any direction. Depth is computed through the image segmentation, missing background areas are filled in, and as you tilt your phone around, objects shift around as if they're inside an invisible box. This works on iOS, iPadOS, and visionOS, and while it's best in 3D in the Apple Vision Pro, it works amazingly well on the lock screen of handheld devices too. I've been shooting a lot of stereo 3D content recently, and I'm torn because while I'm really happy to see 3D done well on so many more devices, I now feel less need to shoot stereoscopic stills. Sadly, the iPhone 17 didn't bring any changes to spatial video shooting, which is still stuck at 1080p 30. iOS added dual, front and back camera recording, but the implementation isn't as flexible as most pros would prefer. You can move your selfie image around while recording, and it's all locked in. You only get a single combined video with a picture-in-picture overlay. For more options in the edit, use an app that allows dual recording and combine the clips yourself. If you'll excuse the plug, perhaps with help from a plugin like my own PipKit. For more options in the edit, use an app that allows dual recording and combine the clips yourself. If you'll excuse the plug, perhaps with help from a plugin like my own PipKit. Conclusion. I've only had the thing for a few hours, but so far, it's an easy recommendation. Just like every year, it's the best iPhone yet. But if you're happy with your current iPhone and there's no deserving family member to hand it down to, there's probably no need for most people to upgrade every year. 2 out of the 4 sensors changing is a pretty big year in iPhone updates, and it'll be a solid update for video and photo pros who shoot on iPhone. The new vapor chamber cooling system promises more reliability in longer shoots, and Open Gate, something I've enjoyed in my Lumix cameras for years now, offers a ton of flexibility. That wraps up our review of the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max, two powerhouses in Apple's 2025 lineup. Which one do you think is the better buy? Let me know in the comments below. Speech Balloon, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to TechVerse Reviews 321. Let's hit that 10K subscriber milestone together. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next review.